Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and I'm going to relax, get in my place of Zen, and I'm going to discuss this further because I had a lot of people, and you guys can see in any of the Dr. Nun Amen Ras videos that I've done what his followers and other people are saying about his work, so that I don't need to link all of that. You guys can go look at those comments yourself and understand why I need to make this video again. People are saying, no, he's not claiming to create energy from nothing. Yeah, he actually is, and I'm going to break that down for you guys in a minute. And I probably need to cover Lane Norton separately in his own video like this because he has his own motivations and there's other math involved in his nonsense. But both of these guys are making provably false biological and physics claims, and they're doing it for their own financial and popularity gains. And again, using their educations to act as if this is based on science when it really isn't. And these are provably false things. All right, so let's cover what I mean by Dr. Nun Amen Ras and his little cult of how is he creating energy from nothing. Let me make this very, very clear. Let's look at some math. The base metabolic rate for a human male, an adult male around 5'8", 165 pounds. That's approximately what he is. Their base metabolic rate, meaning if they keep at a constant low heart rate, relaxed, almost in a meditative or sleeping state 24 hours a day, is around 1,700 calories. All right, that's base metabolic rate. He's claiming to maintain his muscle mass and body weight of like 165 on 1,200 calories a day, one meal. And what people need to understand, yes, that is claiming to create energy from nothing. Now, people are going to say, well, he's slowly lowered his metabolism, and meditation and monks and everyone else can do these things, and slowly bringing calories down will lower metabolism over time. There's some truth to that, but there are limits to how much. The most we've ever seen documented in a laboratory through starvation, and starvation is going to lower your metabolism more than anything else you could do, is going to be around 18%. All right, when I say 1,700 is the base metabolic rate, that's assuming you're relaxing and meditating. And a monk who can meditate and lower their metabolism, that's how they're doing it. They're controlling their heart rate. They're bringing everything down and controlling everything to burn fewer calories. Means they're going to probably drop, a monk who is really in tune with his body can drop himself down to his base metabolic rate. And in this case, it would be about 1,700 calories. Now, through starvation, you could cut that up to 18%. 18% of 1,700 is approximately, what, let's say 140, so approximately 300 calories, right? Roughly. And again, that's the most extreme we've ever found in a lab. So that would take his 1,700 approximate, actually it's a little over 1,700, and so we'll go down to 1,400. That means that in theory, if he has starved himself down enough that he's lowered his thyroid, all these other functions in his body, he could hypothetically drop his BMR as low as 1,400 calories while maintaining his weight. That means that even if he meditates all day or is in a coma or sleeps for 24 hours a day, other than to eat his one meal, he's still in a 200 calorie deficit. That energy has to come from somewhere. The only place, and I'm going to jump in a minute, that he's still going to be a lot higher than 1,400 no matter what. But you're talking about the energy has to come from somewhere. If he is not losing body weight at that point, that's violated the laws of thermodynamics because human beings don't draw energy outside of our caloric intake. And we store those extra calories from wherever sources they happen to be, whether it's body fat, glucose stores, or muscle tissue as protein. We have to get that energy from somewhere. His scale weight will have to continue to go down, and eventually he's going to lose muscle tissue. He'll have to. Once you can't draw sufficient glycogen stores for blood sugar, your body breaks down muscle tissue protein for glucose. That is a scientifically proven fact. Everyone knows this. Everyone in the nutrition world and biology world knows this. He doesn't have much body fat left, so he's not going to be losing body fat to lose any further weight. He's only got really muscle tissue to work with at a certain threshold. That 200 calories a day is going to have to come from muscle tissue. There's about 1,500 calories in a pound of muscle. So about every 7 or 8 days, he would probably be losing a pound of muscle with what he does. He has no other source of energy. He is claiming to create energy from nothing. Breathing it in through the air. Human beings, there's no mechanism by which human beings can absorb calories from sunlight. That's why we have to eat plants. Plants do that. They have the structures in them to do that. Humans do not physically have those structures. And we can't draw in calories from air. It only comes from foods we eat or IVs that are attached to us. It has to enter the body through food. That is where we get all of our calories, all of our energy, all of our heat. That's our energy source. He is claiming to be drawing it from somewhere else then. And on top of that, the 1,400 is not accurate because this man is physically active. Every single photo I've ever seen of him, he's standing. Standing burns calories. Your base metabolic rate is if you don't move and you keep your heart rate controlled. In fact, we know that people, if they lay in bed and they fidget all day, can burn up to 300 extra calories just fidgeting. Standing, if he stands most of the day giving lectures and speaking and doing other things and walking around, he's easily going to burn 300 to 500 calories extra every day just doing those activities. He's clearly in shape. He clearly works out. No one gets to a 600 plus pound deadlift like he has. Nobody, without training at least several hours a week. He's in the gym lifting at least 3 hours a week, right? Probably more. You figure he's going to burn an extra 100 calories a day right there. And that's assuming no cardio added in. So we already know he's burning 400 to 600 more calories over his base metabolic rate every single day, just being able to train a few hours a week and getting up and walking around and being a teacher and a lecturer and everything else. We're at least 500 calories over that 1,400, if not 6. So that's like 2,000 calories, assuming he has starved himself down to the lowest base metabolic rate humanly possible. He's still burning a minimum of 2,000, and he looks pretty physically active. I bet it's a lot higher. Minimum 2,000 already. That's an 800 calorie deficit. Where is he getting the energy from? He will have to get it from his muscle tissue. He doesn't have much else in his body to get it from. He can't maintain his body weight. Body weight is stored energy. Every single ounce of tissue in your body has a calorie allotment to it. It has an energy storage. That is your energy reserves when you're in a caloric deficit. So if he's not using it and it's just staying there, he is getting the energy from some external source. It isn't biologically possible for a person to maintain their body weight for any length of time in a calorie deficit. And there is no way biologically that he could even be burning only 1,200 calories a day. In fact, I'm going to argue this guy's probably physically active enough that he's burning 1,000 extra calories a day. I've shown claiming 600, but that is being ultra conservative, assuming the minimum baseline he would have to do for his training, strength training, assuming no cardio of any type and just his basic day-to-day activities as a professor. It's probably more like 1,000. So people are trying to claim that his base metabolic rate is only 200, 300 calories a day, and that he's maintaining his body functions and organs and his brain on that. The human brain alone, and I'm going to assume because he's a professor, he probably thinks a lot. The human brain alone burns more calories than that, just thinking and regulating your body and keeping everything functioning and moving. So there's a problem here. He is literally claiming to be creating energy from nothing to maintain his muscle tissue. This violates the laws of biology. It violates the laws of physics. So when I say this guy is lying and scamming you, this isn't subject to argument. It's not subject to debate. It's provable. He has to come up with some explanation as to where the energy is coming from, because his basic activity plus just the human brain And if someone were to go to have their thyroid surgically removed to where they're producing no thyroid hormones, so their metabolism drops to the lowest rate humanly possible with a medical disease, he is still in a large calorie deficit. It is not biologically possible to maintain your body weight in a calorie deficit. You lose tissue weight. You can hold on to some water retention for a little while, but eventually even that swooshes off. So again, it has to come from tissue weight. All of your tissue is your stored calories in your body, and it doesn't matter which body tissue it is, it all has calories. And your body has to tap into it when it has no other source. Therefore, you will lose body weight. So when people say he's not claiming to create energy from nothing, yes, he actually is. The math will show that he is claiming that. He doesn't have to claim it directly. That's like saying, me coming up and telling you that telling the IRS, I'm not doing any work on the side and I haven't stolen any money. I just happen to have extra money, an extra $100,000 in assets laying around. And they say, well, where'd you get them from? Through meditation and controlling my diet. It doesn't make any sense. These things have to come from somewhere. And just because he's not saying openly, I'm creating energy from nothing, the mathematics show that he's claiming he is. And that's what people need to grasp. Therefore, this is a clear-cut scam artist who is hustling people. And people are like, well, what would he have to gain from it? How about notoriety? How about a cult-like following? How about money from people who want to hire him for his coaching services or who want to buy books that he's doing? How about getting a bunch of new age pussy? Because usually that's a real strong motivator for men to go do things and get out there and create a name for themselves. There is very, very clear and strong motivations for him to do what he wants. And again, people will do things just for a cult-like following alone, and he very much comes across as very cultish and weird, with some bizarre cultish religion that he's either come up with or joined. So to say that that's not a motivation would be contrary to human nature and what we've seen all through the past. So yeah, he's got very clear motivations, socially, economically, notoriety-wise, everything else for doing this. So yeah, he has all the reason in the world to do it, and it's provably false, the statements he's claiming, just when you look at biology and mathematics. So it is a problem, and yeah, I would definitely classify this as a hustle based upon that. It's not biologically possible what he's claiming. You cannot create energy from nothing, and large calorie deficits always result in weight loss and tissue loss in an organism, and that includes muscle tissue when you don't have any other source to draw from. So him claiming he can maintain his muscle mass on 1,200 calories a day is provably false. Alright guys, well that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.